guys, today Lauren and I are going to talk about supplementation. So before we get started, I'm going to put one of those like banner warnings, but I don't have the cool editor, so I'm just going to put banner warning with my mouth. This is strictly something you add into your day-to-day diet. So when we say the word add, we're saying supplements in definition is meant to supplement something else. It basically fills in the gaps that are missing. When we say the word diet in definition just means what you take in during the day. Okay, so we're just going to clear the air on that. So the main ones that we're going to cover today are going to be protein powders, BCAAs that you always hear us talk about, multivitamins, prebiotics, probiotics, vitamin D, fish oil, and a few other fun ones that you really don't need to worry about. But the main ones we're going to cover, we're just going to kind of jump right in because a lot of people know them, a lot of people take them. Let's just make sure you're taking the right ones and that you know why you're taking it. That's like the biggest reason why we make these videos, is to explain the why behind stuff for you guys. So first things first is protein powder. So Lauren, you can kind of give them an overview, and I'll kind of dig in a little deeper into the exact differences in all of them, but go ahead.
Okay, so like we all know, guys, that protein is super important, especially when we are trying to build on muscle and hold on to muscle whenever you're trying to lose any fat. But a protein powder is not always necessary. You don't need that to put on the muscle. If you're able to get all your protein through eating food like the chicken, your steak, egg whites, all that, then it's not always necessary. But you should try to be getting one should get at least 0.7 to 1 grams of protein per body weight. Now, I know you guys are probably wondering, how do I know if I need 0.7 or 0.8? So that's when you can always come to me and Natalie. We know how to figure it out for you guys, and we can help you do that.
Rule of thumb, just go a pound of your body weight. You're not going to get in that much anyway, so just shoot for it. It's really hard to hit. I actually, as an athlete and training so much, I actually eat over my body weight, but it's still so hard to reach. And like Lauren said, if you can do it through whole food, do it through whole food. And that's for everything we're about to talk about today. If you can get it from real food, get it from real food, okay? Because the majority of supplements, because it's a powder, because it's a pill, because it's not natural, 80% of it, 70 to 80% of it is going to flush right through you anyway. So you have to think about, if you can get it and you can absorb it and you can metabolize it, that's where you want to shoot for. So shoot for real foods. Now, we say have a shake to add into that because it's quick, it's easy, you drink it, you're not even thinking you're getting 20 to 30 grams of protein in one little drink. You just don't think about it. And that's the difference between real food and the shake, is it's in a smaller form. So you're not thinking, holy hell, I'm getting in so much food right now. That's not what your brain sees. So it's easier to go in. But like Lauren said, there's so many different types of protein that it's hard to know what to get. So we talk about meat, we talk about egg whites, we talk about all this stuff. Okay, well, protein powder is just as crazy as real food. There's so many options. If you're a vegan, vegetarian, like to eat plant-based, there's tons of plant-based stuff out there. We always just stay away from soy. The more you can stay away from soy, the better. There's a ton of information on that. That's not what this video is about, but if you're interested, you can Google that yourself. So plant-based is great. And then you always hear whey. Okay, so whey comes from milk, but it's not you don't have to have dairy to have whey. So there's different types of whey. There's whey concentrate and whey isolate. So whey concentrate has that lactase in it. It's a little bit more, if you're more sensitive to dairy like myself, I always tell people go for the whey isolate. look, it costs a little bit more, but it digests a lot better, especially if you have those problems with your stomach. So I go to Whey Isolate. Yes, it's a few more dollars per pound. Yes, it's a lot better for you. Just go with the isolate and you'll be good. I promise. What else do we have in here? Oh, an egg protein. So they have a lot of different proteins that come from eggs. So what they do is they take these liquids, whether it's the whey, which is literally a liquid from milk, and they dry them out and create it into a powder. And the same thing for the plant-based stuff. They just dry things out and make it a powder so that you can add water, or you're supposed to add water to this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't add like your whole daily serving of whatever into this shake. Protein powder is meant for protein, the powder, in a liquid, shaken up, not a whole banana and berries and like peanut butter, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter and spinach, and like, yes, you can put all that in there, but realize you've created a meal and not a snack. You've taken powder, which is literally meant to increase your protein intake, and you've created a meal out of it. It is okay to do as long as you understand why you do it. So I know a lot of people are thinking, well, you create those berry protein smoothies that you always post about. Yes, I do. And yes, I account for everything that goes into it. Just know what you're putting into your body. That's really it. What you don't want to do is be like, okay, well, I want to put a whole banana, 20 grams of carbs, a whole serving of pineapple, 22 grams of carbs, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, 18 grams of fat. Like, the more you add to it, just do the math. Okay, it's easy to put all those carbs into one thing and just blend it up and drink it. Don't think about it, like I said before. Don't think about it, so you drink it faster. That's my rant on protein powder. Use it for what it's supposed to be used for. But moving on, you always hear Lauren and I talk about BCAAs. So protein is broken down, like, in the science of it. The building blocks of proteins are amino acids. So BCAA stands for branched chain amino acids. They help with sore muscles. You can take them. I start sipping on mine before I get to the gym and then drink them all throughout my workout. It keeps me a little energized, gives me that extra boost in the morning through my workout. It is not a pre-workout. They do make some that have caffeine in them. So if you need that energy, when I say boost, I mean it gives me like that fuel source, because your body derives it as protein because you're getting those amino acids. And then because it's derived from, or it is like the derivative of protein, you're going to get that like lean muscle benefits from it. So those are really good to have. You always people have their shaker bottles and they're like off color. Like, see how mine's like off colored blue? That's because I didn't finish my BCAAs this morning and I'm lazy, so I refilled my shaker with water. This is just watered down BCAAs from 5 this morning. Don't be like Natalie. I'm just kidding. You can sip on them. Like, they're not bad for you. You can't have them in an opportune time. Just know they're meant for during your workout, right before your workout.
Yeah.
I'm ranting.
No, you're right. I mean, especially like you morning people, like if you do like your workout fasted, those are always a great option. You can drink your BCAAs then. Absolutely. Gives you a little bit of a boost.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna not rant about that a little bit more, so we'll move on.
Sure.
Okay. Natalie's next rant. Multivitamins. So taking a multivitamin to fix your poor diet, or doing anything like supplemental to fix your poor diet, is bad news. It's not going to work. You're putting in too much garbage and trying to like put flour. I call it putting flowers in poop. And like, I really don't know how else to explain it. It's like that poopery stuff that they sell. Like, you're just trying to make it smell better, but like, that's just not how it works. It doesn't work like that. So multivitamins, they're supplements that contain multiple vitamins to fill those little gaps that you're missing from food. The FDA doesn't regulate vitamins, so regardless of what brand you buy, you're never going to know what you're going to get unless you read it. And even when you read the label, they can lie to you. So it's really hard to find a good multivitamin. That being said, I will post a link with one that I've been using recently. So at least you guys can have something that works. Now, that being said, it works for me because of the way I eat. So if you eat the way you eat and it's not the same as the way I eat, it might not work for you. That's why I like this whole conversation of supplements is like in the air. And we can talk about it and we can like try to pull the balloon down and be like, this balloon is red. Oh, just kidding, it's blue. You know what I mean? Like you just don't know, and it's constantly changing based on what. So it's meant to fill the gaps. There's no standard on it. And it's just like, it's mainly for people that have deficiencies, pregnancies, or like, I think I touched on that. That was I kind of like that. Sometimes I come up with these really good sayings
that was good.
I gotta use these. What else? Oh, so we put in here, like, at the end of the day, you should be eating high quality food, organic food. If you can find a farmer's market, I know we live in Pittsburgh and it's cold right now, but when it's a little bit warmer and you can get to a farmer's market, not only is it cheaper, but it's better for you.
Yeah.
I wish I knew a local farmer because I would send them so much business. Get to the farm.
I know in the summer, more like, if any of you guys live in like Monroeville, like Monroeville Park has like a huge farmer's market, but there's other stuff up there too, but they have a bunch of stuff going on. It's like early, like a Sunday morning, but obviously it's when the weather is nice and not crappy.
That's really the only word to say for the weather right now. And it's just as bad here. All right, next. There's so many that we can go off of. All right, let's just work down the list. These are in no particular order. Probiotic and prebiotic. This is like a huge thing going around right now. And when you hear probiotic or prebiotic, all I want you to think of is gut health. If you're doing anything for your health other than exercise, it should be taking care of your gut. Because regardless of how good you eat, if you have shitty gut bacteria, it doesn't really matter because it's not getting absorbed. It's not getting digested right. It's not getting used the proper way. So take care of your gut. So taking prebiotics and probiotics will be that baseline for you. So Lauren, go ahead and go through some of these prebiotics and probiotics that they can eat.
All right. So, so a lot of it's like for your prebiotic is fiber. So food's really high in fiber. So that's.
While you say that, let's touch in the fiber category. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So because prebiotics contain fiber, let's go into that. And how there's insoluble and soluble fibers and all that shit. So just touch on that and then spike back up to the list.
All right. So for insoluble fiber, it does not dissolve in water. That is what insoluble fiber means. It is a bulky fiber that helps to prevent constipation, and it is found in whole grains, wheat cereals, vegetables such as like carrots, celery, and tomatoes. So that is what your insoluble fiber is.
We did not just tell you to eat cereal. That's not what we said.
Yeah, that's not what
we did not say eat cereal. It is found in cereal and other good things. Continue.
And then we got our soluble fiber, and what that means, so since insoluble does not dissolve in water, soluble fiber does dissolve in water. It helps control your blood sugar levels and it reduces your cholesterol. It's also a super good source, including it's found in barley, oatmeal, super good, beans, nuts, your fruits, such as like your apples, your berry, any type of citrus fruit, and then pears as well. So that is soluble fiber.
Also, don't take the skin off your fruits. Yeah. Like the skin is part of the fiber, so don't take that off.
Yeah, that's super good.
Back to the prebiotics is like you need to have fiber when you're having these prebiotics. Like they go hand in hand. So like a lot of people are doing this whole kombucha thing right now.
Yeah.
And kombucha is a probiotic, but we'll get there. But kombucha should be drank with fiber. So you should drink it with like a salad, like green leafy stuff. That they go hand in hand. So if you're just drinking a kombucha and eating a ice cream bar, like you just might as well not drink the kombucha or just not have the ice cream, one or the other, or both. I would say both, because you're just putting in wasted calories with both of those things. Even one is healthy, like it's just not getting used because it's not paired with its buddy. So it needs to have its buddy to work properly. But yeah, so prebiotics are like the fertilizer, and it's like the good bacteria in your gut. So before you go out and buy all these expensive supplements and shit, Lauren's got a list of foods that we can eat.
Yeah.
Like I said, get it from Whole Food if you can. Give us that list.
All right. So once again, you can get it from any types of beans or peas, oatmeal, bananas, berries, artichokes, asparagus, and one that many of you might not have heard of is a dandelion green, garlic, leeks, and also onions you can get them from. So that's your prebiotic foods that you can get it from.
Stuff makes me hungry. All right. Probiotics. So probiotics are the beneficial bacteria found in certain foods or supplements. If you're going to, everyone hears probiotic and thinks yogurt. If you're going to eat yogurt, just make sure it's high quality, low sugar, low carb, low fat. Like, just if it sits with you, make sure it's high quality. That's all I gotta say about it. But the other fermented food is sauerkraut. Look, sauerkraut is so good for you. There's so many benefits to it. Kimchi, if anybody knows what kimchi is, kombucha tea, and then kefir. So those are pretty good. Pickles are great, and then pickled veggies. So you could pickle almost anything, I think. But a lot of the stuff is popular to find. So gut health is becoming so much more important, and it is brought to light a lot more. You can find so much information on it. That's really not what this video is about, but we should probably do a video on gut health next. So that's what next week will be gut health. For now, get your prebiotics and probiotics from your food. Your next vitamin that we will discuss be fish oil. Fish oil.
All right.
Everyone wants to take fish oil. Of course.
Yeah. Do you want me to explain it?
Go ahead.
All right, guys. So fish oil is the fat or the oil that is extracted from the fish tissue. It usually comes from an oily fish, such as like herring, a tuna, and a couple others. What is it?
Anchovies.
Anchovies.
I hate anchovies.
But yet it's produced from the livers of other fish, as in the case with like cod liver oil. So that's what fish oil is. It's very good for your joints as well, and it can reduce inflammation and also depression.
So fun fact about fish oil. So there's different fats that your body takes. Omega-3, omega-6, omega-7 and 9 will be all the numbers. There's a bunch of numbers. But regardless, like what we want to think about is your omega-3 and omega-6 mainly. And back in caveman world, like your ratio used to be 1 to 1. like omega-3 to omega-6. But now I took a quote from a study, so I'm going to read it to you. But it says, for the past 3 decades, the total fat and unsaturated fat intake as a percentage of total calories has continuously decreased in Western diets, while the intake of omega-6 fatty acids increased and the omega-3 fatty acids decreased, resulting in a large increase of the ratio from 1-to-1 during evolution to 20-to-1 today. So striving to get those omega-3s, that's really why we say take a fish oil, is because fish oil is high in omega-3, which will raise that ratio back up. If you eat a standard Western diet, like the standard American diet, which is absolute garbage, if you eat that in any sort of a way, take your fish oil. It will help balance out that ratio and just bring it a little bit closer. That's really all I want to say about that, because I could dig into that a lot, but it's not worth it. So take your fish oil. If you eat a standard diet, just do that. Anyway, next, vitamin D. We live in Pittsburgh, so take a vitamin D. That's all I have to tell you. If you're not getting sunlight, take a vitamin D. If you're deficient in vitamin D, take a vitamin D. I mean, go to your doctor, obviously. Like, we're not doctors, we're nutrition coaches. We know a lot about this stuff. But if your doctor tells you you're deficient in vitamin D, probably be trying to add more to your diet. The end. It helps in the absorption of calcium. So, like, if you're taking in all this calcium and you don't have vitamin D, you're just not absorbing it. Remember that buddy system I talked about with the fiber and the prebiotics? Same thing here. Vitamin D and calcium go hand in hand. I looked into so many studies. I just want to ramble, but I don't, because I don't want to get sidetracked. But just know it's important to have, and if you don't consume dairy and you don't get your 20 minutes of sunlight, take a vitamin D.
Yeah.
I don't really want to touch on the rest of these. We'll touch on caffeine, and then we'll leave it there.
Yeah, that's good. So
no one should ever let me have caffeine.
I need my caffeine.
My head spin in circles.
But all right, guys. So
How long can Lauren and I awkwardly stare at each other before one of us decides to talk about caffeine? Because the problem is, so many people love it and they're addicted to it that it's one of those touchy subjects where like as much as I want to tell you caffeine is good, like, too much caffeine is not good. And most people are addicted to it. I was addicted to it. I drank 6 Americanos from Starbucks a day until I decided to cut coffee, and I'm 22 weeks clean of coffee, and now I drink all tea because it takes me longer to get that amount of caffeine through tea than it does coffee. It's just my ass backwards way of thinking, like, hey, Natalie, slow down. Sometimes I got to look myself in the mirror and have that talk. But if you think you're addicted, cut it back. That's what I gotta say. If you think you're addicted, cut it back, and then you can go ahead and tell them about it.
So like caffeine, it's usually found in like your performance enhancer. So a lot of you guys that maybe take like a pre-energy drink before you guys work out, well, let's just say there is a lot of caffeine in that, and a lot more than there is in one cup of coffee. So that's why you guys get so much energy to work out.
And jittery and crazy.
Yeah.
Mike Thomas walking in and doing burpees before he changes his shoes. Just kidding. I don't think that's ever happened. It's going to happen now, but
yeah.
Just know, like, if you guys take a pre-workout and you get tingly, it's not caffeine. It's a different supplement. We're not even going to touch on it. That's not the caffeine. Caffeine isn't giving you a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, like it can increase your metabolic rate by 7%, but if your bodies are getting used to it, it might not be able to like increase it. So just like be careful. If you feel like maybe you were only drinking 1 cup of coffee a day and now you're up to like 4 to get the same feeling as 1 cup, well, the caffeine's not working for you anymore. So cut back, like give it up for a week. Try that and then get back to like 1 cup a day, and then you'll feel the same effect.
So Lauren said a good point, and it kind of triggered me a little bit to have this discussion right now. But caffeine is being talked about in this video about supplements. So what you need to understand is caffeine is indeed a supplement. Like, it is not just something that should be in your daily routine. Although, like I've talked about the American diet and the Western diet before, is it's absolute garbage. Nobody understands what should and shouldn't be done anymore. It's just gone to hell. So what we do is we just make things part of our day and just call it what it is. You know what? I drink coffee every morning, and I drink coffee at 7 and 11, and then one more cup at 1, and that's just part of my day. That's just what it is. Blah blah blah. Right? No, like you don't want to take the time to understand what you're actually doing. Is you're introducing a supplement 3 times a day, when most supplements should be used 1 time a day, if that, if you're not getting it from natural foods, which the effects of caffeine you can get from carbohydrates, which is why we tell you to eat your carbohydrates before your workout, so that your body decides to build its own energy. What? I feel like I'm giving a science class right now, but it's literally science. Take the time to understand why your body works. The only reason our logo is a machine is because your body works as a machine. But if you don't know what the heck is under the hood, how are you going to sit here and say you know how it works? You don't. Like, you just don't. Don't be ignorant to the fact and say, I know that this works for me. Do you? Do you? Like, I'm not sitting here trying to call people out, but do you? Like, I learn things about myself every damn day. Don't be ignorant to the fact that things grow, things change. We learn new things all the time. You have to try different things. You have to learn new things, and then you have to implement them and try them. So I had to give that because, yeah, that was necessary.
That was good.
It had to be said. Someone had to say it. Someone had to call someone out, and it was me. I decided to do it and just call people out on their bullshit. Rah! I feel. Don't talk to me after I've had caffeine. Just kidding. I actually have not had that much caffeine today. I'm just passionate about this stuff. And I don't like seeing people do things they don't need to do. For example, take all these pills when you don't actually need them. Drink things at the wrong time. Waste money on things that you think are helping you, but at the end of the day, like, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
This is a video about supplementation. So what I'm going to tell you is, to wrap this up and to conclude, and I think Lauren will triple down on what I'm about to say. If you eat a healthy lifestyle and you eat whole foods and high quality and organic, and you take care of yourself, you probably don't need supplements. And if you need supplements, take them wisely. Read the bottle, understand what you're taking, and don't go overboard. If you feel like you're addicted to caffeine, you are. You're going to go through withdrawal. You'll be okay. And eat a nutritious diet. Bruh. That's
it. That's it.
The end. I wish I could put a period on the screen and just like end the video.
That's a good sound effect.
It's about the way you lick your lips before you just see I wasn't ready.
You were ready.
Maybe I could supplement something to get more saliva in my mouth. I'm just being an asshole. Like, all right. Have a good day.
Okay, guys.
Everybody else, have a good day.